Southern superstar Ilayya Thalapathy Vijay's much-awaited Master has hit the theatres. The first show of the movie was at 4 a.m. across Tamil Nadu. The tickets for the shows are all sold out for the next few days. The movie also stars very popular star Vijay Sethupathi and Malvika Mohanan, and being the first mega box office release on Pongal, huge crowds were seen outside theatres, delighted to see Thalapathy on screen. This despite the 50% seating order in theatres. Master film director Lokesh Kanagaraj, ahead of the release, said that it had been a 1.5-year-long struggle to bring the film to the audiences, and he hoped that fans would enjoy the film. Initially, the film was supposed to be released in 2020 due to the pandemic. The release date was moved to 2021. A bit of controversy also around Master because the film was leaked a few days before release.
विजय मेरे को बहुत पसंद है. मैं विजय का बहुत बड़ा फैन है. मेरे को बहुत अच्छा. मैं गांव में भी इसी का मूवी देखता हूँ.
तमिल पता है आपको?
तमिल आता है ना, तमिल में बोलना क्या?
अच्छा, यहाँ टिकट मिल गया?
टिकट कैसे मिलेगा? इतना लोग है, हमको कैसे देगा? मैं विजय से मिलने का बहुत मन कर रहा है.
विजय के बहुत अच्छा थे वो. पहला फर्स्ट लुक देखा था, इसीलिए उसको मूवी देखने के लिए बहुत आतुर हो गया था. ये टिकट काटने के लिए नहीं मिला हमको. कल नहीं तो परसों देखेंगे जरूर.
मूवी बहुत
हाँ मिल जाए, टिकट मिल जाएगा ना. मूवी तो बहुत अच्छा बना होगा. अच्छा ये मूवी ट्रेलर तो बहुत अच्छा डाला है.
Now, there's also a lot of politics in Tamil Nadu around the festival of Pongal. Ahead of the assembly elections, the ruling AIADMK government has started distributing 2,500 rupees, sugarcane, a shirt and a sari, along with other essentials used in celebrating Pongal through state-run ration shops. AIADMK is not the only party which has planned Pongal-related election drive. Actress Kushbu, who recently joined the BJP, took part in the Saffron Party's Pongal celebrations in Madurai. Ahead of BJP President JP Nadda's visit to the state tomorrow, the party will launch Namma Uru Pongal, which means our area, our land Pongal celebration. Opposition too has stepped up their game to woo the voters. DMK will be organizing Pongal celebrations in Madurai. Similarly, the Congress will have Rahul Gandhi travelling to the state to witness Jallikattu in the state. Again, this will be in all likelihood in Madurai.
We are at a ration shop in Chennai, and what we can see here is that people have been coming here to take the Pongal bonus that has been announced by the state government, rupees 2,500, sugarcane, and all the essentials that is required for the celebration of Pongal is being provided at the ration shop. In addition to this, clothes, festive clothes are also being provided by the state government. Pongal is one of the most important festivities in the state of Tamil Nadu. It's a harvest festival and the first festival of the year. And we can see here that amongst the people of Tamil Nadu, the excitement for Pongal, Jallikattu is always high. And in this time during the COVID period, it is very unfortunate that many of them have been struggling to make ends meet. And this helping hand from the state government has received a lot of applause and applaud from the people of Tamil Nadu. And at this point of time, we can see that with just days left for the Pongal celebrations, people have been enthusiastically coming to the ration shops and celebrating. Meanwhile, we also need to remember that the opposition party has been trying to say that the state government is trying to give this money to influence voters and vote bank, and that is not acceptable. Initially, there were also banners of the AIADMK government which was put up in all the ration shops, but after a court case by the DMK, those banners had to be removed. With camera person Daniel from Chennai, this is Aksha now for India Today.
DMK youth wing leader Udayanidhi Stalin is in the massive controversy over his remark against Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Edapadi Palaniswamy as well as Sashikala. A police complaint has now been filed against him in Chennai on the basis of a video where he's telling a gathering that Edapadi Palaniswamy went on his knees like a dead body and touched Sashikala's feet to become the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. He makes some very derogatory comments also after that in that particular conversation. Now, charges against Udayanidhi include intending to insult the modesty of women, provocation with intent to cause riot, etc. After facing criticism for his remarks, Udayanidhi Stalin said that he will apologize only if his statement has hurt the feelings of any woman. Udayanidhi Stalin had earlier mocked EPS, saying the Chief Minister is always following Modi's orders. Even after outrage, he held up pictures of EPS at Sashikala's feet at a campaign rally.
கீழே தரையில படுத்து கிடக்குது யாரு? யார் காலில் விழுந்து கிடக்குறாரு? இத சொன்னம்மா, இத சொன்ன. அதாவது டேபிள் சார் கடையில பூந்து டேபிள் கீழே தானே படுத்திருக்காரு. மூஞ்சி தெரியுதா உங்களுக்கு? மூஞ்சி தெரியுதா? பாதி உடம்பே தெரியல. டேபிள் சார் கடையில பூந்து போய் அந்த அம்மா காலை பிடிச்சு முதலமைச்சர் சொன்னதுக்கு என் மேல வழக்கு. இதுல என்ன இருக்கு? நீ பண்ணதான் நான் சொன்னேன். கேட்டு தானே நான் ஏதாவது போய் சொன்னா? நான் ஏதாவது தப்பா பேசிடுறேனா? என் மேல மாநில வழக்கு போட்டிருக்காங்க. பரவாயில்ல, பாத்து.
The Supreme Court took an unprecedented decision yesterday, putting the implementation of farm laws on hold. A new 4-member expert panel will hear both sides now. Farmers, however, have called the committee as biased and they've refused to call off the protest.
Motion moved that the bill be passed. The question is that the bill be passed. Those in favor will please raise their hands and say aye.
The 3 contentious farm laws intended to open up the markets for farmers is on hold. The Supreme Court, in a rare move, stayed the implementation of the laws that have sparked huge protests, leading to a siege on the national capital. The 3-judge bench of Chief Justice of India, S.A. Bobde, and Justices A.S. Bopanna and V. Rama Subramanian has further set up a 4-member committee for talks. The court has named Bharatiya Kisan Union President Bhupinder Singh Maan, agro-scientist Pramod Kumar Joshi, agro-economist Ashok Gulati, and Maharashtra-based union Shetkari Sangatana Chief Anil Ganwat as panel members. The court, in its order, has said the panel will hold talks with all stakeholders and submit a report to the court within 2 months. The ruling says minimum support price as it exists will continue and that farmers' land holdings shall be protected. Lawyers representing the farmers, Dushyant Dave, Prashant Bhushan and Colin Gonsalves, did not take part in Tuesday's hearing. The farmers say their demand remains the same. That is, repeal the 3 laws.
उनसे हमारी डिमांड ये थी कि ये कानून वापसी हो। हमारी स्टे की तो बात थी नहीं हमारी। हमारे ये वापसी ले लो, एमएसपी पे कानून बना दो और सरकार ही जीत जाओ। जीत का सेहरा वो अपने सिर ही बांध दो।
वो सारे के सारे जो कमेटी के मेंबर्स हैं वो प्रो गवर्नमेंट है। सारे वो लोग हैं जो अब तक सरकार के कानूनों को सही ठहराते रहे हैं। तो ऐसी कमेटी को तो बिल्कुल ही कोई मान नहीं सकता।
During the hearing on Tuesday, the Attorney General K.K. Venugopal made 3 key submissions. He said Khalistanis have infiltrated the protests. The court has asked the government to file an affidavit saying the same. Venugopal also raised concerns over the farmers' plan to hold a tractor rally on Republic Day. The AG claimed the protests are limited and there are none in states like Karnataka and Kerala. The Supreme Court will hear the plea filed by Delhi police on January 18th.
The court has specifically asked, why is it that when the farm unions went before the government for negotiations, they are hesitating in going before a judicially appointed committee? At the same time, the court also asking the government to explain whether the allegations of anti-national sentiments infiltrating these farm protests are actually true or not. A lot remains in this entire controversy, and with the farmers currently taking a hardline stance, this deadlock does not seem to be resolving anytime soon. In New Delhi with cameraman Nasir, this is Anisha Mathur for India Today.
Moving on, the big challenge before the vaccination begins is securing the COVID shots. In India, the highest level of security is in place for transportation and distribution, from end-to-end tracking with radio identification to even fingerprint scanning at warehouses. India is leaving nothing to chance at such a crucial stage of the fight against coronavirus.
Sealed
with boxes and trucks loaded with vaccines making their way to 13 cities across India for the world's largest vaccination drive. And these priceless boxes are getting the maximum security. Z+, the level of security accorded to VVIP netas. A police escort will follow the vaccines from the time they leave Serum Institute of India till the time it's administered. In Delhi, the vaccines are being escorted by the Delhi police and officials of the Health Ministry are monitoring it.
There is a three-layer security. We have CCTV surveillance along with the hospital security staff and the Delhi police.
The same level of security is maintained in all states. Local police are keeping a strict watch on the vaccines and are using CCTVs. The biggest threat looming over India's vaccination drive is that of theft, burglary and pilferage. That's not all. Both vaccine makers and governments need to be alert to the possibility of counterfeiting and potential black marketing of shots. Logistics and transportation companies are working towards secure delivery to ensure that loopholes, if any, are plugged.
हमने वैक्सीन के आने से पहले ही इसको वैक्सीन की स्टोरेज के लिए हमने पुख्ता इंतजाम कर लिए हैं और इसकी सुरक्षा का भी हमने कड़ा प्रबंध किया है। वहां पर हमने सीसीटीवी कैमरे भी लगवाए हैं वहां पर और हमें पूरी उम्मीद है कि 16 तारीख को हमारे पहले स्वास्थ्य कार्यकर्ता को ये वैक्सीन दी जाएगी।
Uttar Pradesh administration says they are monitoring the movement of vaccines 24/7.
100% वैक्सीन का मूवमेंट जो रहेगा वो सुरक्षा व्यवस्था के अंतर्गत रहेगा। सशस्त्र पुलिस के साथ इसका मूवमेंट किया जाएगा। रूट चार्ट से लेकर हर चीज़ प्लान्ड आउट है। पूरी टीमों की ट्रेनिंग भी हो चुकी है और जो ड्राई रन किया गया था इस ड्राई रन के माध्यम से 100% लोगों का एक हैंड्स ऑन ट्रेनिंग भी हो गई है।
The trucks that transport the vaccine are fitted with GPS and software that ensures each one of it is never off the radar. Vaccine manufacturers are putting in place end-to-end traceability mechanism with radio frequency identification and barcoding to secure and monitor the supply chain, transportation and distribution. Besides physical controls in terms of CCTV, there will be manual search and fingerprinting for access at warehouses where the vaccines are stored. The plan is to deploy automated data loggers that monitor storage temperature and transfer messages every 3 seconds to a central unit under tight surveillance. With less than a week to go for the rollout, all eyes are on these vaccine vials and the agencies are taking no risk with their security. Bureau Report, India Today.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar slammed Pakistan for aiding and abetting terrorism and providing terrorists financial assistance and safe havens. The minister asserted that the international community must not allow terrorism to be justified and terrorists to be glorified. In a thinly veiled reference to the D Company head Dawood Ibrahim, believed to be hiding in Pakistan, Jaishankar told the UN Security Council that the crime syndicate responsible for the 1993 Mumbai bomb blasts is given not just state protection but is enjoying 5-star hospitality. Targeting Pakistan's double standards, the minister said that it's time for the world to commit to zero tolerance for terror and to walk the talk. He added that terror financing is one of the biggest problems and preventing terrorists from accessing financial resources is crucial to successfully countering the threat of terror.
Linkages between terrorism and transnational organized crime must be fully recognized and addressed vigorously. We, in India, have seen the crime syndicate responsible for the 1993 Mumbai bomb blasts not just given state protection, but actually enjoying 5-star hospitality.
And Army Chief General Naravane has warned against the Pakistan-China nexus. While addressing the media, the Army Chief tore into the China-Pakistan tie-up trying to target India. He said that Pakistan and China formed a potent threat and the threat of collusion could not be wished away.
The Indian Army is preparing for the new normal to thwart Pakistan and China at the same time. All through the ongoing LAC face-off with China, Pakistan has been needling with firing along the LOC. Army Chief General M.M. Naravane said the two-front problem was being addressed.
There is no doubt that Pakistan and China together form a very potent threat, and there is an aspect of collusivity which cannot be wished away, and that is also very much part of our strategic planning and calculus. when we are formulating our plans.
The armed forces are aware of the need for a new approach to deal with the twin threat.
हम किसी भी कन्वेंशनल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के लिए और किसी भी तरह के कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के लिए फुल्ली प्रिपेयर्ड हैं एंड उसमें टू फ्रंट वॉर भी इंक्लूडेड है. हमारी हमेशा ये फोकस रहता है कि हमारी ऑपरेशनल कैपेबिलिटी करंट थ्रेट सिनेरियो के अगेंस्ट बिल्डअप की जाए, अगेंस्ट प्रिपेयर्ड रहे एंड हमारी कैपेबिलिटी पूरी तरह से तैयार है टू फ्रंट वॉर के लिए भी.
Ever since the aggression by the Chinese along the LAC, the army has been regularly reassessing the force requirements.
As far as the situation in eastern Ladakh is concerned, in the areas which were just mentioned, the situation is the same as was prevailing last year. There has been no change in the status quo. Based on the principle of mutual and equal security, we would be able to reach an agreement which would result in disengagement and de-escalation.
Even after 8 months, there has been no reduction of Chinese deployment in friction areas, though there has been some withdrawal in the depth areas.
Those training areas have been vacated, and since those training areas have been vacated, it would be fair to assume that those troops who had come, who were in the depth areas on the Tibetan plateau, have gone back to their garrisons.
China had first movers advantage in early May when the standoff started. But Indian Army retaliated in August when it took over heights on the southern bank of the Pangong Lake. The India and China standoff has entered the 9th month, and chances of the deadlock ending appear slim. 8 rounds of Corps Commander level talks have failed to get the Chinese army to retreat.
There might be a calm at the line of actual control in Ladakh, but that doesn't mean that tensions have eased between India and China. And that's the reason why the Indian army is ready to grind it out both at the line of actual control and at the line of control. The army chief made it very clear that new strategies are being devised to take care and combat the potent threat both from Pakistan and China in years to come. With camera person Vinod, Abhishek Bhalla in New Delhi for India Today.
In a massive setback for India, pace spearhead Jasprit Bumrah is the latest to join the list of casualties, is unlikely to play the 4th test. The Indian team has lost a number of players due to the injuries down under. With the final test set to start on January 15, the visitors are struggling to put together a team 11 for the series finale.
The Indian team fought like warriors in the Sydney test. Bodies were bruised, but they didn't give in to the pressure. However, Team India's injury woes have only worsened.
Not an easy time for Ashwin at the moment.
I'll be saying Pajari, you're right.
Speedster Jasprit Bumrah is all set to miss the deciding 4th test in Brisbane. Bumrah complained of abdominal strain during the Sydney test, and Team India will now be without their pace spearhead in the series finale.
On to those catches, even half chances.
India have already lost a number of players to injuries down under. Mohammad Shami was the first casualty with a fractured arm, following which Umesh Yadav and KL Rahul also joined the list. During the 3rd test, India were dealt with 2 more blows in form of Ravindra Jadeja and Hanuma Vihari. The absence of 3 experienced fast bowlers, including Ishant Sharma, Bumrah's workload became a matter of concern, and his absence comes as a massive blow. Mayank Agarwal, who was expected to be part of the 11 in Brisbane, is another doubtful starter now after being hit on the hand during practice. With injuries mounting, the odds are heavily stacked up against India, but then they were in Melbourne and Sydney too. Sports Bureau, India Today.
The Indian team has reached Brisbane, but players are unhappy with the facilities in the team hotel. Now, the players landed in the city on Tuesday and were in shock upon their arrival in the team hotel, which lacked basic facilities. According to reports, there was no room service or housekeeping facilities at the team hotel. The gym is very basic. Swimming pool cannot be accessed. Remember that the team is not allowed to step out of the hotel due to COVID restrictions. Team members have described the hotel rooms as a prison for all practical reasons. Now, after complaints from the Indian contingent, BCCI has acted upon the matter. Discussions are on with Cricket Australia, which has assured smooth operations from here on. The 4-match series is locked at 1-1 with Brisbane hosting the series finale from 15th January.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.